Hey guys, Christian coming to you from GoGreenBeLean.com, and today is Tasty Tuesday. That's where we're going to go ahead and show you our favorite recipe this week and give you a step-by-step walkthrough of how to create that same recipe at home. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This is called the Tunisian sweet potato stew. You've probably seen it on McDougal's newsletter, maybe forksoverknives.com. It's around the internet already, but we felt like this deserved a video to actually showcase what goes into this stew, and you won't believe how it tastes. This recipe happens to be a low-fat, plant-based vegan fare, and you're welcome to also join us. You can make it however you want at home, but really we found that this is the best health benefit for us. And so far, together, my father and I, we've lost about 45 pounds eating this way, so we really encourage you to come join along. And again, the website is GoGreenBeLean.com. I first came across this stew recipe over at Whole Foods, and the fact of the matter was that my first meal cost me $18 with no tip, no waitress service, none of that. Just scooping it into a brown box and eating it. It was so good, I wanted to eat almost 2 pounds of it. But at the same time, I couldn't afford to keep doing that. So we went ahead and decided to make it at home here for us and for you too. So what it requires is 2 teaspoons of minced ginger and 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, about 2 chopped up jalapenos with no seeds, de-seed them. We went ahead and chopped up a whole onion. And we have various spices. The recipe is just on the blog. If you go to GoGreenBeLean.com, you'll have the exact measurement amounts for a for a serving of 6. And we have cumin, cinnamon, coriander, red crushed peppers, and also some cilantro. We have about 2 cups of chopped up green beans. We cut them into about 1 inch long, and we washed them. Cut off the ends too. We have peeled and chopped sweet potatoes. This is about 4 medium-sized sweet potatoes, about the size of your fist. And of course we use Eden's Organics. These garbanzo beans have no added salt to them. They're organic garbanzo beans. We wash them and drain them. And we have also an alternative. You can use bag garbanzo beans. If you soak them overnight and then slow cook them, you can do that if you have extra time. However, we're kind of in a rush, right? Everybody's out the door, so we like to use Eden Organics instead. This is a cheaper option. There's about 3 cans of Edens in this one, so that's another alternative. Diced tomatoes, no added salt from Whole Foods. Now that's kind of important too, because if you look at most cans, it's going to say around 100 to maybe 300 milligrams of sodium per serving. That's not a whole can, that's a serving. There's almost 4 servings in here, right? So if you do 300 per serving, that can be upwards of 1,000 milligrams. It's spaced out over the course of about 12 servings, but at the same time, just be aware of that too, if you have salt sensitivities. We have some vegetable broth, and this is a vegan vegetable broth, so that's also a plus. Again, with the sodium though, just be aware this has some added sodium to it. So you can find no salt added broths and then add salt, pink Himalayan salt, or sea salt or seaweed or whatever it is that you crazy vegans add to your stews. But this, of course, has added salt to it, so just be aware of that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take our water, our ginger, garlic, and jalapeno and onion, and we're going to put it into a small pot and cook it for about 5 minutes. It semi-caramelizes it, and then we're going to add it to our bigger pot and add in the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so we're going to take the 2/3 cup of water. The recipe calls for 1/3, so we're going to add in about 2. We're going to toss in our ginger and garlic, jalapeno, the onion. Just going to put all that onion in there. Just kind of stir it around. You can also stir it like this if you want. You can get a spatula and just kind of stir it around. Just want to make sure the heat is just a little bit above medium. Alright, we're going to use a tablespoon of cumin. Alright, there's the last of our cumin. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. We need just 1/8 of a teaspoon of coriander. So we only need 1 of these little guys. And last but not least, crushed red peppers. Just a 1/4 teaspoon. Now, if you want it spicier, you could probably just go ahead and double it up, but we're going to leave it kind of semi-mild. And just take all that right there. Come on over here. Come on closer. We're gonna go just kind of shake it all over around. And we're gonna transfer this in just a second. This only needs to cook for about a minute, like this. It's gonna just blend all those spices in there. And after that, we just dump everything into this big old pot and we let it cook for 30 minutes. It's really that easy. So this is an awesome blend of spices. It's great flavor. Thanks to Dr. McDougall's newsletter. We are fortunate enough to have this. Now, on their newsletter, they also add peanut butter. We kind of stick to the 80-10-10 diet in here. So we try to minimize the amount of fat total in your overall diet, keeping it down to about 80-10-10. So 80% carbohydrates, 10% proteins, and 10% fats, and that helps, you know, us function best. And of course, we're not always on point every single meal. However, the course of a year is what you really want to try and focus on is, you know, a month or a week. Look at your just overall dietary patterns, and if you're kind of staying in the 80-10-10 range, you're probably doing best. So that or 95-5. That's all you need to do. And now we're going to take it along with, and I was on medium heat. We already started heating up our pot over here. We're going to just follow the instructions, the recipe, right? And we're going to add in the sweet potatoes now, the green beans, the tomatoes, and the garbanzo beans. Just be kind of gentle with it. There's not a whole lot of liquid down there. 2 whole cans of garbanzo beans. 2 cups of green beans. And all of our juicy onions, and we also have some tomatoes too. So we have 4 of these cans of diced tomatoes. They're 14.5 ounces each. We use the diced with no added salt to them. And just add in our other pot. Ooh, baby. And I gotta get my spatula. If you haven't had this before, you're really gonna love it because it's really hard to mess up the flavors in this. If you just follow the recipe, it's gonna come out great. And of course, if you add in about I'd say probably anywhere from 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon of peanut butter for this whole recipe right here. This is gonna make anywhere from 12 to, I'd say probably 14 meals. But if you're like me, it's probably gonna make about 8. So just go ahead and stir it around, and then we're gonna cover it and let it sit for about 30 minutes. And this one, we wanna make sure we have it on a really high heat because it's such a big pot. And then just check on it every once in a while, about every 5 to 10 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and check on our soup because it's just coming in under 5 minutes. Wow, look at that. It's super, super hot right now. So we're gonna stir it up a little bit. We did want to add in just a little bit of black pepper right here. And this is just a taste, so as much as you really feel comfortable adding, some people are a little bit more sensitive to it. Stir it up a little bit, right? It's gonna be some delicious meals right there. If you have a hungry household, this will feed them several times over. And then our taste test is gonna be grab one of the cruciferous vegetables, maybe one of those green beans right there, or you can also grab one of the sweet potatoes, try to get a bigger chunk, right? And take it off here to the side, just a fork, and poke it, right? It seemed to go in pretty easily. Now take it at a different angle and then just try and press down with your fork. That went in pretty well. In about another 3 minutes, it's gonna be nice and done. But we're gonna blow on it and give it a taste test. It's not quite there yet. It's still a little bit tough on the outside, so I think another 2 or 3 minutes, and then we're gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes or so, just to kind of stew in its own juices. That's gonna soften up anything else that's in there that's still kind of tough. Try out these green beans now. Perfect texture. Fantastic. Tastes great. Okay, so now our stew is done, and we're gonna go ahead and add in a little bit of kale. Also, you can add this into your recipe during the cooking process. I like to steam it a little bit and then add it in at the end because it doesn't cook the kale as much. Okay, cool. So that's all there is to it. That's our Tunisian sweet potato stew for this week. So all you need to do You can get some rice, some other whole grains, like the recipe says on the McDougall newsletter. Put that in the bowl first. If you have a steamer just like this, you can pick one up pretty cheap. You just put that in the bowl and put this stew right on top of it. Try to get some of the sauce in there too. And try to get some of those, a little bit of kale right there on top. And bon appetit. Oh, still very hot, but very good. A little spicy too. Oh, so be sure to, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give it a thumbs up anyways. And comment, rate, subscribe for more details and more videos. And also, if you guys like this, feel free to shout out some recipes that you like that we can make at home and help you guys make as well.